Chapter 62:18. Moreover, Charlie didn't want Jacob to be kicked out of the Painting and Calligraphy Association. He and Elaine often quarreled. If he was idle at home, the family might be in a state of chaos all day long. However, he didn't think too deeply, but said to Mai Ching, "Don't worry, Aunt Han, I will find a way to make some insinuations. You know he is a face-saving person. If he doesn't tell me, I can't ask directly." "That's true." Mai Ching sighed and added, "But since he is traveling abroad, I think he will be fine. And he will not be so annoyed when playing." After that, she said to Charlie, "Okay, Charlie, you can find a way to pay attention to this matter. I have something else to ask your opinion on." Charlie said, "Auntie, please tell me." Mai Ching said, "Pollard said, you are the witness of our wedding, so he wants to treat you to a meal the day before the wedding. Paul and Melba will be there too. I wonder if it is convenient for you?" "It is convenient," Charlie agreed without thinking and said, "Just set the time and place and tell me." "Okay." Mai Ching smiled and said, "Then I won't disturb you. Goodbye, Aunt Han." Charlie just hung up with Mai Ching. Orville called immediately. Charlie pressed the answer button, and Orville said nervously, "Master Wade, let me tell you something. I may have used too much force." Charlie asked him, "What happened if I used too much force?" Orville said, "Oh, it's your father-in-law's business. Didn't you ask me to leave him alone? I didn't give him any good face. He called me and said that he wanted to reserve a private box at the restaurant. So I didn't accommodate and refused." Charlie said, "Isn't this a trivial matter? You are Irvin's boss, so you would be dissatisfied with him both emotionally and rationally. So it would be unreasonable to reject him. It's normal." Orville said quickly, "Oh, Master Wade, I originally thought that this attitude should be very good. But their President Pei called me, and I didn't give him a good look. He told me that he would try his best to save your father-in-law and keep his position of vice president. So I yelled at him and said that it had nothing to do with me. I didn't think much about it at the time and hung up the phone. But I just heard Irvin say, your father-in-law has resigned from the Painting and Calligraphy Association. So I guess the reason why President Pei didn't protect your father-in-law is probably related to my attitude on the phone." Oh, Charlie suddenly realized. No wonder, I was curious as to why President Pei was adding insult to injury at this time. It turns out that he thinks that my father-in-law has no support and has lost his use value. Orville asked in embarrassment, "Master Wade, I really didn't expect that things would turn out like this after just saying that casually. There is no direction, so I called you just to ask what you want and see if I should mention it to President Pei again?" Charlie thought for a while and said, "No need for now, my father-in-law guessed it. Now is the darkest time in life. Let him stay in the darkness for a longer time. Maybe he can develop a pair of eyes looking for light in the darkness. When he comes back from Dubai, I will find a way to get him to return to the Painting and Calligraphy Association. To be honest, I wish I could send my mother-in-law to work in some association so that I can have some peace and quiet at home. If my father-in-law is still idle at home, there will be a lot of chaos in the house every day." Orville asked hurriedly, "Well, look at it. Do you want me to do some work in advance? I have President Pei's phone number. If you think the time is almost up, tell me and I'll say hello to that person named Pei right away." Charlie said, "Forget it. Don't need that." Earlier, before Isaac was arranged to take over the position of Butler Tang in the capital. Did he tell you about his connections in this city? After Leon disappeared, Charlie helped Isaac. After assuming the position of the Wade family's chief steward, his original spokesperson status in this city was given to Orville. With Isaac's acting style, he should hand over all his resources in this city and even this province to Orville. Orville said hurriedly before Mr. Chen went to the capital. He had already brought me to discuss the relationships in the city and the province. Charlie said, "Okay, you can find the supervisor in the province. The leaders of various cultural associations should see if they can figure out where President Pei wants to be promoted next. and then cut off his upward path. Don't think that the Calligraphy and Painting Association is just a mass organization. In fact, look at it from a broader perspective. Throughout China, the nature of groups in the literary and art circles is quite different. However, the higher the scale and level of civil society groups, the higher their voice and social status. If a person can hold an important position in a large association, his own level is also very high. This can be regarded as another alternative career path. Just like most people take the normal route in the college entrance examination. But for a few people, the reason for taking the college entrance examination is the same as taking the art exam and the physical exam route. President Pei has been planning to take another step forward, but this person's character does not seem to be very good now. In order to cater to Jacob, he fought against all opinions and brought his limited amateur to the level of executive vice president. The two of them were inseparable all day long, as good as brothers. Now, when Jacob caused a scandal and Orville showed a little indifference, President Pei immediately added insult to injury and drew a clear line with Jacob. This was indeed an unkind move. Instead of doing this, it would be better to keep him firmly in the Calligraphy and Painting Association, and then find an opportunity to let Jacob go back. The two of them would have continued to be brothers in need, and no one should start disliking the other.